Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. Homage to Bhagavante, Guru Bhante Bhikkhu Sang, metta to anagarikas, and metta to upasakas, upasikas. So, we have all gathered here today, Sunday evening, and most of you attend quite often, quite regularly, and some of you almost every Sunday. So this is a great gathering. It's an important gathering because once in a week, if we do this kind of gathering, it helps us to purify our mind, to get a perspective about our own mind. Whatever happened for the last 1 week. So you get a chance to look at yourself. As you might have experienced in meditation, that no matter how hard you make, the mind keeps moving around. But that's part of the practice. That part of the meditation, meditative practice is to look at your mind and to understand your mind. Because in your day-to-day life, you are very much occupied with your own activities, with your own life. So you don't get a chance to look at your own mind. Because the mind, of course, is very much part of our daily life, but we are not able to look at it. So it's important to look at your mind. Because if you look at your mind, you understand your mind. You feel when you are meditating. So don't be worried if your mind doesn't settle down. It's all fine, it's all right. But just see how your mind is functioning. What are the feelings you are getting, pleasant, unpleasant, and what are the thoughts you are getting, you can say, again, pleasant, unpleasant thoughts. So you need to look at them, you see, and try to understand what are the thoughts which are healthy, what are the thoughts which are unhealthy. Kusala, akusala. Buddha calls it kusala, akusala. It's called healthy, unhealthy because some thoughts are going to bring us suffering, and some thought which are going to bring us happiness. As Buddha said in Dhammapada, that everything starts in the mind, and then comes in the speech, and then comes in the body, and then, of course, it gives its own result as well. So therefore, looking at our own mind is a practice, and it's a practice which is also an exercise, right? Just like you do exercise to sort of repair your body, to kind of relax your body. In the same way, it's an exercise to also relax your mind, to strengthen your mind. So it's important, once in a week to at least give time to yourself. The other day, somebody came here. In the evening, he came and he said that for almost, he's 50 plus, I guess, around 50. And for the last 30 years or so, he has been so much roaming around, not roaming around exactly, like running around in this hustle of life. And now he suddenly realized that, I didn't really give myself the time. I didn't really live my life, you see. So the realization came quite late, around 50. So what I'm trying to say is that we, of course, with our own duties, responsibility, which are also important and which are also a spiritual practice. You see, Buddha also says that whatever responsibility that you have, the duties that you have within your family is also a spiritual practice, because you are also helping somebody. You see, they may be your family members, but still you are helping them, you are supporting them, you are loving them, caring them, loving, caring, sharing. That's a practice you do in your family. It's not just a duty, right? It's much more than that. If you really understand, that's what Buddha said in Sigalovada Sutta. Buddha tells it to one man called Sigala. He tells him, how can a householder, a family man, can practice spirituality and can grow in spirituality. So those are, of course, very much part of your life, but you also need to give your time for yourself as well. And spirituality is one, especially this meditation practice that we do here every Sunday is the one which really help us to connect with ourselves, to understand ourselves, and to feel ourselves, and to get a perspective about our own life. And also, certain intention, you can set it right, which means that a lot of things you are doing, a lot of things you are saying, a lot of things you are engaged in, but trying to get a sense of what am I doing, what are the things I'm doing, what are things I'm not supposed to do, what are things I'm supposed to do. So it's also important to assess your own life, your own activity, because all of them are karma. As Buddha said, karma is life. You see, we morning till evening, we are engaged in some or other activity, including thinking. If you're not doing anything, you're just thinking. So that's also a karma, that's also an action. And every action has a result, you see. So therefore, Buddha also emphasized a lot on appamada. Appamada. Appamada means heedfulness. Heedfulness. You can call it mindfulness as well, but it is called heedfulness. Buddha says that just like elephant footprint is largest, all the animal footprint can come under this elephant footprint. In the same way, Buddha said, all the spiritual quality can come under this heedfulness, apamada, mindfulness. So this is very important because, as I said, morning till evening we are all the time in action. There is no any single time where we are not doing action. Some are lighter, some are stronger, some are subtler, some are grosser, some are wholesome, some are unwholesome. In other words, healthy, unhealthy. But we are a constant machine of generating karma, generating action. So that's something very important. As Buddha also said, karma is my karma bandhu. Karma is bandhu. Karma is your friend. Karma patisarano. Karma is your protector. Your karma is your protector. You see, karma yoni. Karma is your womb. So whatever karma you do, accordingly you get a life. You get a rebirth. And that's also very important. We are in this cycle of birth and death until we achieve Nibbana. So, therefore, we have to be careful about our next life as well, which keeps happening, until we are enlightened. So, that's how we look at karma. You see, so very important. Karma is something very important. And broadly, karma are of three kinds: mind, speech, and action, bodily, physical. So, and it's a law. Karma is also a law, a niyama. A law that is very independent in nature, right? It is, you can in fact call it nature. Just like you see the nature, it just functions on its own. There is nobody that is specifically controlling it. In the same way, each one of our karma is a law that governs itself, right? There is nobody that can purify your karma. Buddha said, Shuddhi ashuddhi pacchatang nanyo anya vishodaye. Purification and non-purification is your own self. Nanyo anya visodaya, na anya. Nobody can purify each other. You see, your karma, you can only manage, you can only do, you can only purify, So your karma is yours. Nobody can really help you to suddenly purify. You see, that's just not possible. You see, so that's why Buddha said, I am a teacher, I show you the way you have to walk, I can't purify you, I can't, suddenly erase your karma, you see. So therefore, we are very much responsible for our own karma. And as I said, it is something that keeps coming from life to life, you see, for till we are enlightened. So therefore, as you come here every Sunday, you have to really look at your own mind, your own action, your own past week, how it was, not from a perspective of worry, but from a perspective of self-introspection, right? In a very objective manner, You just look at your own self as an entity that is subject to karma, right? So you look at your own karma as it is, If you didn't do something well, okay, fine, I didn't do well. Okay, let me do it better. And also try to look at what what were the causes and conditions. So there are certain causes and certain conditions and certain roots, for karma. And those conditions can be very many, including association and some other, the things that you hear, the things that you watch, the things that you discuss, the things that you focus more on. All these things also contribute for your karma to, to generate, to come into play. So you need to look at them. What are the causes and conditions that are making my karma in certain way. So if it is a good one, fine, just do it well. If it is not so good, fine, let me do it better. And it will take a lot of time, specifically some of our habitual karma, certain things which we are habituated to is something quite difficult, because it is strongly laid in our heart, in our mind. So that will be a big challenge, quite a good big challenge. But it's all fine. It takes time. You need to have a determination, dedication, commitment, and understanding, and effort as well to work with some of your very stubborn habitual karma. There are certain stubborn karma within us, that never leaves, that never like to live, So, but with, as I said, with dedication, determination, effort, understanding, you can really overcome them, But you need to have a lot of patience. You need to have a lot of persistence, a lot of patience, including kindness, right? You really need kindness to yourself. You need not look at karma, some of your stubborn karma, from the lens of bad, or of some kind of unwanted kind of thing. Or what I'm trying to say is that don't feel so don't feel so bad. You don't need to feel bad. You just need to understand that this is a karma that is not so healthy, and that's not good for me in my life now, in my future life, in the future of this life and next life. So you need to understand like that. So you need to be kind to yourself, really, really kind to yourself. So you need not be so judgmental, right? Judgmental and guilty. These are not a very healthy thing again, right? So don't look at your karma from a judgmental and guilt-driven mindset. So you have to look at your mind, your karma, with kindness. Very important. With some kindness. So this is something that you get. So today I want to specifically share a sutta with you about resentment, right? Resentment. So it's a form of anger, for form of hatred, but it's a slightly a kind of unhappy state of mind. So what Buddha says about it, and how it comes, and how it can be managed. So it's a very small, simple, short, a very short sutta but I will like to share with you. So it's called Āghātapaṭivinayasutta, getting rid of resentment. Anguttara Nikaya 9.30. So Buddha says, because there are these 9 methods to get rid of resentment. What 9? Thinking they harm me, but what can I possibly do? You get rid of resentment. Thinking they are harming me, they will harm me. They harm someone I love. They are harming someone I love. They will harm someone I love. They help someone I dislike. They are helping someone I dislike. Thinking they will help someone I dislike. But what can I possibly do? You get rid of resentment. These are the 9 methods to get rid of resentment. You see, so this sutta is about, as Buddha also said, Dhammapada, Akkochimang, Avadimang, Ajenimang, Ahasime, he harmed me, he abused me, he overpowered me, he cheated me. So we are, thinking like this. We think like this. Or you can say, it just comes in your mind. Okay, you don't yourself make it, but it comes in the mind, right? And also anticipating, first going in the past, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me, he cheated me, he did that, he robbed me, he cheated me, deceived me, he did this to me, he said this to me, he done this to me. So that is the past. So you are just hovering in the past. You are just harboring such thoughts in the past, related to past. You came to the present, but you are still stuck in the past, right? And then in the present also, oh, they are doing this to me, that to me, saying like this to me, like that to me, saying bad to me. And then, oh, they will say like this to me, they may say like that to me. You see? Like that you are anticipating. That person may not say also in the future, but you are still thinking, oh, he will say, he or she will. That person might have forgotten about you, you see. But you are still carrying, oh, this person might say this and that to me. Or something happened in the past, that person might have forgotten. It must have been forgotten. Or it might have just happened because of certain context, but it is no more. But you are still thinking, oh, it is as if it is there now, you see. And in the present also, you are kind of making it, much bigger, or you are somehow you are somehow making it big and harming yourself. You're just bothering yourself, right? Okay, people do say, right? People do say, and they say sometime with certain intention, sometime, wrong intention, right intention, whatever intention. But you can't control. You can't always control what people say. It is just not possible for you to control what people say. But at least you can make yourself unbothered. You can keep yourself unbothered by whatever is said. By patience, by understanding that, okay, this is how the world is. This is how people behave in the world. Or thinking that, okay, this is there for some time. Okay, it is there for some time. Let me just forget. Also thinking that if I get bothered, then I may say something, then the other person says something, and it goes on and on, and a lot of my time goes into it. Your time will go in the argument, and nowhere. Both of you will go nowhere. It will take you to much bitter places, bitter state of mind. And now here, it's not just about you, but people whom you love, right? Now it extended, right? It's not just, if it is only about you, somehow it is understandable. But then it get extended to people whom you love. Okay, I love, they said this to my beloved person, my love, my loving person. Or they are going to say, or they are saying, or they may say. You see, so it is extended. So don't you think it is such a big mess, such a burden that you carry and make yourself so miserable, miserable, and make yourself unhealthy also, because these things have a tremendous impact on your body also, your health also. In the modern science, they have very much come up with this experiment that all this kind of emotion, impact our neurological, neurotic or neurons, all those, systems. And that's how we get bad health as well. And now, not only it get extended to people whom you love, but it also get extended to people whom you don't like, right? Oh, so they are doing good to somebody whom you don't like, right? So, why they are doing, they are helping, they are supporting someone I don't like. Again, you suffer, right? Why they are helping? Why they help that person? Why they are helping now? Why they may help the person I don't like? So it get extended, isn't it? It starts in your mind, but it get extended to many people. And then you see what will happen is that you extend to those beloved people or unloved people, but then they have their own chain again, right? They are again liking somebody, they are also not liking somebody. So it's a huge chain that keeps on rotating. You see, that's how we have a lot of social problem, national problem, communal problem. But it is starting from where? Us, one individual. That's why Buddha said that when you do metta meditation, that is the meditation on loving kindness, when you do that, he said it is a very beneficial practice. It gives you immense benefit, punya, because you are cutting the chain, that will impact the whole society. Buddha said it's a big gift. And that's why if you can at least manage yourself, that itself is a big gift to the world. Right? If you can well manage yourself, that's a big gift to the entire world, to the entire community, to the entire family. Suppose all of you are here, all of you at least manage yourself, manage your mind, you see. Managing family, managing businesses is easy. It's not so difficult. Somehow you can manage. But managing yourself, that's the toughest one. That's why we consider spirituality higher. Why? Because it deals with the most important thing, which is your mind. You see. once General J.J. Singh, who was in Kargil war. He was an army general. So he came to our Guruji's birthday celebration in Bangalore some 15 years or so ago. And, he spoke. And he said that it was easy for me to manage 70,000 troops in Kargil war. But it was very difficult, extremely difficult to manage my own mind. You see. So that's the toughest one, isn't it? You can manage many people. Somehow you can manage, right? You can shout them, do this, do that. You show your power or shout or whatever. Money, power, or somehow you can manage. Somehow, But your own self is the toughest one. So therefore, that's the reason spirituality is so important, you see. And if you are managing yourself, it's not just that you don't cause problem in the society, but you're also giving lots of benefit to the society, because you are creating that good energy within you, and that energy somehow to whomsoever you meet, starting from your own family to wherever you go, your job, your community, wherever you are actually spreading it, right? You are spreading that kind of positivity, that kind of joy, that kind of peace, understanding, and lot more. You see. So therefore, we need to really work with our own resentment, our own anger, irritability, resentment. So we have to really work with them. And that's very, very important. So now let me also share a few slokas, gathas from Dhammapada on anger. There is this whole chapter on anger. There are some 15 slokas, so let me just read out for you so that you can contemplate on it. One should give up anger, renounce pride, and overcome all fetters. Suffering never befalls him who clings not to mind and body and is detached. So you have to give up anger, pride. Pride is, sense of me as as something very special, So that's something we have to renounce, because everything is changing, right? You have an identity of yourself, but it is changing. So why we should be proud? Why we should be proud? And fetters, all the things that bind us, inner binding, including anger. It's also a bondage. And cling not to body and mind, detached. So you are not clinging to again a sense of you, right, as me. Very important, because when you say me, that is what? What is the me? Say your body, your feeling, your thoughts, your ideas. But they're all changing. They're all subject to change. So you don't cling on to them, right? Because it's changing. So you always understand the changing. So when you see the changing, you are the one who get benefited, right? You don't bound by them, so you are free. He who checks rising anger as a charioteer checks a rolling chariot, him do I call a true charioteer. So you have just like a charioteer who has to check everything. Like say you're driving now. So as somebody who drives has to check the car, right? Whether the brake is good or not, the engine oil, all the other thing. You have to really, check your car, do proper maintenance, So also we have to check our anger. Like whenever do I have some anger, resentment towards somebody? If it is there, you need to set it right. You have to remove it. You have to somehow remove it. Then you are a good charioteer. You are a good driver. Overcome the anger by non-anger. Overcome the wicked by goodness. Overcome the miser by generosity. Overcome the liar by truth. So how do you do that? The opposite, right? So if you are feeling angry, so you have to think the opposite, that is love, compassion. For example, you are angry towards somebody, so you think good about that person, right? Any good thing the person might have done to you, honest the person might be having, or being compassionate, which is to look at some of the difficulty of that person, right? So you are compassionate to their difficulty. You understand their difficulty. So like that. So overcome the wicked by goodness. So if you have certain some wrong habit, so do just the opposite. Do the goodness. Everything, the opposite you have to do. If you are a very miser, give. Be generous. If you are lying, just tell the truth. Speak the truth, yield not to anger. When asked, give even if you only have a little. By these three means can one reach the presence of gods. So you have to speak the truth, and you should not give way to anger. And when somebody asks, give. Even if it is a little, just give. If you do just these three things, you will be born in the divine world, as a divine person. Those sages, O Atula, indeed, this is an ancient practice, not one only of today. They blame those who remain silent. They blame those speak much. They blame those speak in moderation. There is none in the world who is not blamed. You see. So there was this person called Atula. He comes to Buddha and he says, I went to this monk, he just kept quiet. I went to another monk, he spoke very little. I went to another monk, he spoke too much. I went to this person, he spoke somewhat middle, not too much. So finally he comes to Buddha. Then Buddha said, this is the world, right? If you keep quiet, people will blame you. If you speak too much, people will blame you. If you speak little, people will blame you. So nobody is not blamed. Nobody is not blamed. Right? Everybody will be blamed. That is a very reality. That's a truth. We have to understand. We have to accept. We have to sink in our heart. This is how the world is. This is the way it is. This is how it is. You see, that understanding is very important. So if you understand, then half of your anger drops down. Half of your resentment drops down. You see. So you are not going to be free from blame. Somebody or other will blame you. Whoever you may be. You see, you will be blamed anyway. So be ready. Be ready to get blamed. Be just, that's why patience is important, right? Like you have to prepare your mind. Okay, I may get blamed. Fine. You see. So then there never was, there never will be, nor is there now a person who is wholly blamed or wholly praised. Now, in the next, what Buddha is saying is that not only you will be blamed, but you will be praised also. Right? You have to be ready for praise also. Right? Somebody will pull you down, somebody will push you up. this upside pull and push is there, is going to be there. You see. So Buddha is saying there never was, there was nobody in the past, and there is nobody now in the present, and there never will be in the future somebody who is totally blamed, totally praised. It's not just going to happen. Including the Buddha. Buddha was also very harshly criticized, by so many people, including defamed. He was defamed by so many people, and abused also, So it just happened. You may be a Buddha. You may be the perfect individual. Who is totally pure in heart, 100%. But still, you will be blamed by somebody. So therefore, we need to really accept that and not allow ourselves to be disturbed by praise and blame. It's something that's going to happen. So next there is a Buddha said, let a person guard himself against irritability in bodily action, irritability in verbal action, speech, irritability in thought. Let him control in deed, speech and thought, abandoning bodily misconduct, verbal and physical. Let him practice good conduct in deed. So, irritability, right? Now, we have irritability in the body, in the speech, in the action, right? We get irritated, right? Irritation, you may be aware, that you see something, you may not be like really angry, you may not be hating, but that's irritability, right? That in day-to-day life, we get irritated with maybe in the traffic, or, something is delaying, or somebody is behaving a certain way. So that irritability. So Buddha is saying, guard it, guard the irritability. So you have to guard, you have to watch. You have to really watch your own irritability when it starts in the mind. Right? When it starts in the mind. So you have to guard it, and you have to not allow the irritability to consume you and to kind of overpower you. So you have to really work with that. And sometimes it comes through the speech. You are somehow not able to do control in the mind, but it comes in the speech. At least at the speech level, just control it. Or sometimes it comes at the level of body. At that time, control at the level of body. You see. So these are called the three doors of action. Mind, speech, action. Kayena vacha, manasa. So this is how you manage, and it's very important because it also decide our relationship. You see, a lot of the relationship are spoiled because of resentment, anger, irritability, hatred. So a lot of personal relationship, family relationship, community, nation, including nation, and sometimes with your own self, because you have a relationship with yourself also. So you also spoil the relationship with your own self if there is irritability, resentment, anger within your heart. So you have to free your heart from all kinds of resentment. So different ways Buddha mentioned today, specifically what can be done. That's very simple, right? That is very important. Very simple technique. What Buddha in the sutra he mentioned, what can be done? Okay, they are doing like this, they are harming me, or they harm me, they are harming me, or what can be done? If you can do something, do it. Of course, do something which is good. But if you can't, just accept. This is how it is, and this is how it is, and what can I do, right? If I can't do anything, okay, fine. You see, or you know, there are certain time where if you just say like this, it's done, because there may not be so much big loss, you see. As long as there is not a big loss, then it's fine. You can just say, okay, what is there? They are trying to do this. They are doing this to me, my beloved people, or they are helping somebody I don't like. So what can I do? That's something very important, and also realizing that this is not healthy. Anger is not healthy. It's not at all healthy. That's something we need to really tell ourselves, you see. So as a result, our relationship will really be much healthier, better. Especially in today's time, we hear a lot of problem between couples, right? Between couples, there are always a lot of fight, a lot of irritability. So at least one of them should be calm. If both are in a attacking mood, if both are in attacking mode, then what will happen? There will be war, there will be fight. So at least one of you should think, okay, let me stop it. Let me just stop it. Let me just keep it, not react, not engage in argument. Then our relationship can become better. And sometimes this irritability, resentment actually stays for some time. You see, in that moment you have to manage. You have to manage, and especially when you are angry, try to just not speak much. Try to just be alone. At least when the force of anger drops down, right? So therefore you have to watch when there is a rising, even when it is rising, right? You have to, just like in the driving, when there is some problem, you can feel in driving, some sound is there, some kind of these things is there. So you need to check, when you are getting irritated from the beginning. You can feel it, right? If you're really mindful. And that's why we have to meditate. So we will be mindful. So we know when the anger is rising. From the rising state itself, if we can catch it, if we can, understand, then we can manage by telling ourselves, there is anger, it's not good, it's not healthy, it's not going to help me. So like that, you have to use wisdom, that how anger is not going to help me. So eventually it will be better, and eventually you will overcome it, and there will be love, compassion, and there will be happiness and joy. So with this, we come to the conclusion of today's talk, and I hope you can work with it. And yeah, so we conclude, and we now share this, whatever good we have done today by chanting, meditating, and listening to Dhamma. We share this punya with all the beings in the universe, with everyone. Sukhe eyang ne dukkha ahang ne chang ahang viya hita cha me sukhe honto majjata chatha verino imam hi gama ketam he sa Tahanto sukhe tato rancharajeso chakavale sujantano sadhu sadhu